Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail. I didn't realize this quest was going to start right away when I got to this location, but yes, it has started, and here we are with Cyrene. And this is the As I've Written quest, which I don't think is voiced, which is okay. I just didn't know, it's going to be weird to not hear a voice quest for okay. Hello baby gangsters, this is... Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail. And we're talking to Cyrene here because I didn't realize the quest, As I've Written, would start right away as I got to this location, but here we are, getting to see Cyrene again, even if it is in kind of the memory form. It's still pretty great, right? Miss me yet? Like, it's fantastic. Welcome to the story we wrote together. This page of eternity exists because of you. Cyrene, you're still here. The young girl smiled faintly. She had foreseen that at this moment you would hesitate, sigh, or pose a question. A moment later, you two regained your senses. The her before you was nothing more than an ink trace left from the past, able only to carry a message, unable to exchange words. That is so sad, isn't it? It's so sad. And again, it drives home the themes of Amphoreus all the time. Is like this fleeting memory that we wish we could hold on to forever. We wish we could be happy forever. But constantly over the entire story of Amphoreus, we have had loss upon loss upon loss. And even in the end, while there is like this eternal feeling of everything lasting forever, there still is goodbyes and loss. There's, I don't know, it just always feels that way. Sorry, this is the only way I could leave you a message. Stella, you've come such a long way together on the path of remembrance. Even though the Amphoreus in my memories will forever continue its cycles, sealing Iron Tomb in the past. But those who remember you, this story, and this eternal garden will always stay by your side as part of As I've Written, continuing the trailblaze with the Astral Express. So yeah, it's like, she has had to stay in the past, which is so heartbreaking. We saw it all last episode as well, to keep Iron Tomb from coming back. But the thing is, these characters and these people that we met along the way, I guess we still always will have them within this book, within our memories, within this, these blank pages that we filled. The girl paused for a moment, blinking her eyes. One day, memories will bear fruit. I'll take them across the stars. I believe we'll meet again. Sorry if you guys heard a fan there. It's a very abnormally hot day in Ireland. And the UK, apparently, as well. So, like, I just have the fan on, so it's actually easier just to record. So if you do hear it, I do apologize. I think it's better to have it on than off. I believe we'll meet again. Even though it's hard to guess what you're thinking, Stell. A heartfelt thank you would surely make a little flower in your heart bloom, right? Thank you, Stell. Oh my god, because again, Stell, like, did so much, I suppose, for the world of Amphoreus and the memory of the people in Amphoreus as well. Oh, that's right. If you have time, can you please visit me in the little village in the memory? Who knows, I might be prepared a little pink present for you. Okay. Oh my god, the way she, like, lunges forward as well, right? A gorgeous visual here, look at this. Estelle grabs onto her heart too. But it's nice to see, like, this world, and I know, like, this is, like, technically, like, not the Amphoreus that we were always in, right? It is a, well, I guess it's kind of like the last version that we saw. It's the memories, right? It's Cyrene. There they are, Anaxagoras and Casterus as well, and there's Phynon. Oh, there's a Glaya. Yeah, so, full disclosure, I have no problem saying that, like, I did hear that you would kind of, like, meet some of these characters again, but I don't think that's much of a crazy spoiler, because, like, I don't think they're going to leave these characters on the back burner, especially since, like, you know, they have to live on in your memories, right? 100%. But yeah, full disclosure, but, like, it's so cool to see them, like, right away. But yeah, this was kind of like the space arena right before we fought Iron Tomb with Cyrene. And it is like Akama, but it's more like the memories, I feel like, that we retrace. Because if you go through that area over there, you'll find all the other locations, I suppose. Wait, so... Wrong menu. So... I didn't start the As I've Written quest, so how does that work then? Is it just a situation where... they just let you do it? I guess we have to go to ID Silesia, maybe? Let's go talk to these characters, though, as well, right? Investigate. Come on, Sophronia. Repeat after me. Sun, spindle, flower.
Sun, spindle, flower?
No, it's flower. What do you guys do a flower for? Still, allow me to introduce you. Futini here was a blind servant in my household during my younger years. I learned a great deal from her about beauty and many life experiences. Not at all. I often hear the young lady mention Stell. So you're the hero, Miss Aglaia mentioned. I see you're quite a beauty indeed. Aww. And this is Sophronia. You might have seen her Nakama. She's the one who gave me this knucklebone talisman. Oh yeah, a huge part of the story, right? To also show Aglaia's love for the world of Amphoreus, but also at the same time to show that Kindness had eyes and ears everywhere that she could harm people that, Aglaia cared about. In the new world you gave to Amphoreus, Futini regained her sight, and Sophronia found her voice. However, they still need some time to adjust their respective gifts. So because we created this kind of new dawn, it actually did create some idealistic things for people in this world. Because it's no longer, I guess, plagued with the idea of being this extrapolation or this experiment. That's not the purpose of it anymore. It's just to live on in our memories. I've been teaching Sophronia pronunciation. She's a very clever little girl. Stell, she has been practicing that line for you for quite a while now, as you can tell. I will teach Futini how to read. Once you're done studying, let's all have some oatmeal porridge at the master's place. So the line that she was practicing was... That's cool though that she was I guess the line she was, I think I misread it here because I thought that this line was, this is the line she kind of was learning, right? Which is, you're the hero Miss Aglaia mentioned. I see you're quite the beauty indeed. Right? That's lovely. That's so sweet. Okay, sorry, I misread that. I thought that was from Futini. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. Speaking of oatmeal porridge, I remember when you got scolded by Treby for secretly snacking on food and drinks. Oh yeah?
Mr. Aglaia, does that thing happen too?
Everyone has their immature moments. That was ages ago, Futini. People who care about each other tend to remember very clearly what other was like in their mature days. I guess so. Okay, this is cool. Okay, we get to just go in and talk to the characters. Look at this crew here. Castorus.
Professor Naxa, I'm ready. Now with these hands I can touch life itself. Please teach me everything about how to interact with little Dromuses.
Oh yeah? Oh, because she can interact with people now. That's so sweet. Oh my god. Good. Then let me teach you the first step to getting close to the Dromuses. Hold out your hand, let them come over, and sniff it so they get used to your scent. This is adorable. He's teaching her how to interact with little creatures. Oh, Terravox! What the hell? Where did little Dromus go? This one is way too huge. Stella, I remember you once hatched a baby Dromus. Could it be that your fantastic creature before us is what had grown into? Behold, the water-only true Dromus god! It's Lord Terravox, the legendary ancestor of Dromuses. Terravox? The greatest creation of Jurios? The unseen ruler of the earth through the ages, so was you. Huh. Such a cool design.
Its stature is truly magnificent. Clad in golden armor, its presence rivals that of my Pollux.
I wonder if the method for interacting with little Dromuses will still work on it. Professor Naxa, please... Oh, sorry, that's Castorus.
Professor Naxa, please teach me the next step. Professor Naxa?
No need for a second step. Quick, Castorus, get up close to the side profile. Full resolution HD. I'll take the front shot and contact the mountain dweller emerges right away. We need a massive amount of fresh red soil. He's wade to into. That's very sweet, though. That's very sweet, though. What a lively bunch. Ah, your new companions I've never traveled with before. My appearance must have caught your eye.
So Dromuses can speak. Wait, no, as an ancestor of it all, it sounds...
As the ancestor of all souls, sorry.
It'd be strange if he couldn't speak.
I've heard of a scholar on the Circes who's really into Dromuses, but I'm afraid my story might disappoint you. Oh? By the way, am I right in saying that Anaxagoras was we need to get a picture of this creature, we need to do some, I don't know, studies. We need to take care of it. The gentle and honest nature of Dromuses. Not only did I once abandon them, but I also did something of my old friend Geocles called proclaimed a betrayal. Sorry, I'm so bad at reading today. Not only did I once abandon them, but I also did something my old friend Julius once proclaimed. Wait, what? I also did something my old friend Geocles proclaimed a betrayal. Is that his old friend Geocles proclaimed a betrayal? Is my brain is skipping today? What's happening? It sounds like he's saying his old friend called it a betrayal, but like the phrasing is weird to me. Maybe I'm just like, my brain is just skipping entirely. And I nearly brought eternal ruin upon the final flame chase. Good. Very good. I've done all those things you mentioned too. Besties. President actually really loves Drobuses way too much. That's so sweet though. He's like, yeah, let's get a picture. Let's take care of these Drobuses. That's adorable, right? That's super, super adorable. Because I think it's great to it's great writing to have an unbelievably serious character.
For a seat at the table.
But we know that an Axe cares about people and cares about things and cares about the world. So it's also nice to see him have like weaknesses. In this case, it's Dromuses, you know what I mean? Which is very, very sweet as well. It's very sweet. And also, like, we're seeing these idealistic versions of the world, right? We have, people can speak again, people can see again. Casters is now able to embrace people and touch people. It's so great. And look at this over here. Look at this, everyone crowding around fine on Celebrity over here. Hey. Big guy. Dad. Wait, what? No, that's way better than I thought it was. What? That's way better. I was like, oh, he's like a celebrity now, you know? No, this is memories, and this is like... Or like, I guess it's written memories, right? Dad. Mom. Everyone. I'm home. This is so huge. Finan, you've grown taller. It's been so long. You almost didn't recognize me, did you? This is so amazing.
Of course not. Mom recognized you at first glance. Still the same scatterbrained kid who just barrels ahead without thinking.
Oh my god, don't you know it?
Hieronymus, look, he's grown so strong. He was all baby-faced when he left home, but now he's even taller than you.
This is like, again, it's obviously like, you know, it's a written world within the book of As I've Written, right, and all this stuff too, but like, why not have it be idealistic? Why not have it be beautiful? Why not have Finan reunite with his parents? It's beautiful. That's a good thing. Otherwise, how could he live up to the title of Deliverer? Hey, Mom. Dad, oh, his soft eyes. Words sure travel as fast around here. Who would have thought? Back then, you were all about wanting to learn swordsmanship in Castrum Kremnos. And now look at you. You've actually beaten Nicodor. Oh my god, he's so proud of his son. Having a talented kid like you work the fields would be a real waste of potential. Dad, I can't take all the credit for this. I couldn't have made it this far without the friends who walked this path with me. My teachers, my rivals, and my best companion. Stella's smiling, but then Minamo shows up behind her. That's right, that's me. We're great partners. It's a long story. I'll tell you all about it slowly. I do love, by the way, that like Finan always makes sure to like praise Stell and Donahung to the high heavens because he genuinely like adores them and looks up to them. And you might like, like he looks up to them. Yeah, he does. Like he genuinely sees the trailblazing as like something that like he was inspired by. You know what I mean? Totally. You don't have to. I think it's one of those cases where like, if you don't use the word looked up to, he definitely is inspired 100%. The kid of mine must have been quite a handful. Here, I made some honey sun cakes. Please help yourself.
Fine, I know you've been seeing the world out there, but don't you dare look down on your mom's cooking.
No way, I've been craving Ides Elysiae food for ages. Man, this is the best.
Home is wherever we're all together.
Come try my parents' cooking. Oh, is there anything you want me to remember? Wait, what? It's all over? Thanks to you, if you hadn't shouldered this burden, I'd probably still be wandering aimlessly in desperation, wouldn't I? To gain, then to lose, to struggle, and then end up with nothing. I've grown used to those faces briefly lingering before me and then hastily departing. It's almost laughable. Sometimes in a daze, I still wonder if it's all just a dream. After waking up in that wheat field, we'll have to face another endless journey. Don't worry, we'll always be here by your side. I've got you all our buddies. Now I have no reason to keep moping around. It's time to get a fresh start. That's so gorgeous. I wonder what this thing is at present. Time to get some proper rest at home. Before heading home, I thought I could get some good rest, but I quickly found out there's quite a lot to be done. Chopping firewood for Dad, making bows for Uncle Galba, sharing tales from the Grove and Mr. Pythias. And then there's Fiso and Olivia, always pestering me for stories. It takes quite some effort to satisfy their curiosity. That's really lovely though as well. The idea that, like, you know, the problems that he has now are still keeping him busy, but they're more based around like the love of his family, right, and the people that love him. All right, I should also visit the fairies in the Remembrance Gaze. It's been a while. I bet they've made a complete mess of things in their usual scatterbrained way. Looks like we'll have our hands full for quite a while to come. So what is it? Anything you want me to remember? Oh wait, we need like the apple. Okay, that's fine. So we can talk to people again, and let's see if we can get some more out of Aglaya then.
I'll tailor the embodiment of beauty just for you.
How comforting is to share a bright and melodious world with those we cherish.
We can. I'm happy to share this world through my eyes with you. So again, that's the way they're phrasing it. It's like the world through our eyes, right? But we share with them to make their idealistic world.
It has romantic aspects as well as its inconveniences. The inconveniences lie in having to relearn how to read all those subtle details, people's thoughts and desires and emotions hidden beneath their expressions. Things I used to easily discern through golden threads. So she can't use their golden threads here, which makes sense, I guess. Like, it's like they're not exactly supposed to be this unbelievably powerful beings here anymore. They probably still do have some of their powers, but like they're meant to just live, right, and live their lives and be happy and enjoy these blank pages that were written upon. And what makes it romantic is whether it's the stark contrast of colors or in luster or the finest fibers on the fabric. They can all be seen clearly in the human eye. Perhaps the leader of Akuma needs the golden threads that can see all things, while ordinary weaver only needs a pair of bright eyes. Okay, so it's like now that she's an ordinary weaver, she just needs a pair of like optimistic bright eyes compared to like when you would need something like a lot heavier, I guess. That's really lovely. I do, you know, love the idea that these characters are now moving on, but it's in a way that like still embraces the past and doesn't forget about all the stuff that used to happen, right? And all the memories they still had. It's like this idealistic world that is actually kind of like very realistic in a way. The idea of like, you know, Casterus is like trying to touch a Dromas as soon as possible, right? And Anaxa is like being more relaxed about the Dromas thing. He's putting his time into the Dromases now. Finding gets to spend time with his family. Aglaya is now learning the world through her own eyes rather than just the golden weaves. It's actually really, really beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. It's really cool. It's a really, really cool thing. Meeting Aggie always feels like a fresh experience. That's a really lovely way to put it. I'm grateful for that because only a human can make one. Only as a human can one keep changing and growing. Different people will remember the different aspects of me. Furini and Icelands remember my spoiled and willful side. The crisis heirs and citizens witness my calm and composed side, while Sophronia and my master can see my gentle side. But in any case, this is who Aglaya truly is. So we didn't get the apple or whatever. Thank you for your wishes. I believe everyone will be happy forever. So it is like a wish. Like, I love the way they're phrasing it, like a wish as well. Yeah, it's so cool to see these characters like be in a more happier world, especially with all the suffering that they went through as well.
Looks like I'll need to completely overhaul my theory.
I heard that even Terravox once gazed at the stars in the grove. After a blinding radiance of eternal day faded, the true starry sky beyond is still mesmerizing. Got any new inspiration yet? That is accurate. During the years I lay dormant like Kogus' memories, I caught glimpses of knowledge from beyond the sky. I must say I'm absolutely stunned.
Scared yet?
Scared?
This is the best reward for all my work so far. I love this. Oh my god. I'm actually seeing like stuff from beyond the stars and being like, oh my god, there actually was a light at the end of the tunnel, you know? That's beautiful. I thought you'd strip away the mystique of the Dromases.
Why? No matter what the Terravox has done, it is still a demigod that once bore the weight of the earth.
All I can say is that there's a Dromas in everyone's heart, and gazing at it is like gazing at yourself. He genuinely loves. Like, I love that he's taking time for his hobby now with Dromases.
The more you cherish Dromases, the deeper your bond will grow. It's like studying the world itself. Keep your heart filled with curiosity, and the truth will reveal itself. Such is the primal wisdom that Dromases have bestowed upon us.
Lovely stuff. And Casterus, like, it's just so sweet that he's like taking up a new hobby, like a hobby that he loves. It feels like everyone has time to do stuff they want now.
I hope we can fill this place with blooming flowers.
I thought the Dromus' interactions lesson would be more gradual. Sorry, I thought the Dromus' interactions lesson would be more gradual, but wow, we're starting off with the heavyweight guest right away. How does it feel to touch the Dromus King? The texture of the skin is rougher than I imagined, with many old scars. Lord Terravox must have been through countless difficult battles. The Dromuses seem quite fond of you too. Long ago I came across a bone fragment from the Dromuses as a mortician and crafted into a bone flute. When it played, it produced a deep and melancholic sound, as if softly brushing against the very soul of the Dromas. It was the only way I could touch them back then. Thankfully now I can play them with them without worry. That's so nice. She can only touch them like emotionally, right? If it's baby Dromuses, I might be able to pick them up. Would that count as more forceful kind of embrace? You can give him a hug. No, this is my favorite one. Because while I understand that like everyone has like people with Calvin like fight odds with his family, yeah, but like the casters not being able to embrace people's story is still like the most emotional story in the entire game for me. It's amazing. Let's see. I don't think we can go through here, can we? Oh, we legitimately can. Let's explore as much place. This is where we headed towards Iron Tomb. Sorry for that lip pop there. Very rude. Yeah, this is where we I don't know if any will be up here though, will they? We can see. I mean, it's good to cover all our bases, right? It's definitely good to cover all our bases. Man, these locations are incredible. The fact that we can just wander here is pretty great. You know what I mean? That's pretty great that we can just wander around here. Oh, there's people up here. Wait, this is the final page of As I've Written? Wait, Phantasm Moon... Merciful Queen, what is that? Oh, that's the next one, okay. So, should we go to this one last? Or do you think it matters? Because I do want to talk to Icelans and Ceridra, like, of course, but there's like a thing over there, which I wonder, does that mean they want us to go to Idis Elysiae? I imagine that we can just go over here and talk to them, right? Because that's the, unless that's like a boss battle, is it? Yeah, the locations aren't gigantic, so like let's warp here for a second, see who's down here. Ah, Jesus, look. Oh my god, so many people out here. Yeah, like it's not a gigantic place, but it's still pretty great, right? So, Sirio, Doria, and Petros. You're upon... What? What? His parents? I mean, if that makes him happy, what?
What would you like to eat today? I'll be the chef.
Pomegranate juice grilled Dulu bird cutlets. I just can't forget the taste. Darling, don't just stand there. What would you like to eat? It is an idealistic world and like a wish for the world as well, right? So I guess like the wish for the idea of like having Mightimos have like parents that like are not toxic would be pretty great for him, right?
I'll have the same as your mother, Mightimos.
What's with you two?
Sorry, a blank space isn't on the menu. Don't just say nothing. He's so freaking pretty. Jesus.
Hi there, can I place my order?
Oh, it's you, Sil.
You're Mightimos' friends, right? So many people have been visiting these days. Who know he has so many friends? Why don't you stay and join us for dinner? Don't worry, we're not having a family drama. We just found out that a past Mightimos suffered a great deal.
Oh my god, you have no idea. There's no word for suffering in the Kremnoan language.
The Kremnoan dictionary keeps getting thinner.
The course of history can change in the blink of an eye. In my last life after the battle with the Imperator, on the plains of Dolos, both Gorgo and I acknowledged the mission of the Flame Chase, finally freeing the glory of Kremnos from the tears of the blood and strife. The survival of Kremnos may not be more than the fate of the world in my past. I made too many mistakes, whether it was poisoning you or casting Mightimos into the Sea of Souls.
Those don't sound like mistakes, really. That's just very horrific and really evil.
Alright, enough with the reminiscing. I managed to get some juicy stories out of you from Ornyx's priest earlier. If you keep getting all nostalgic for the new world, I might just share them with people. What memory are you referring to? You once said Gorgon and I fell in love amidst the blood-soaked dust of the arena. Stay thy tongue, I confess my fault. Now prithee, grant me clemency. Such a heartwarming interaction. Yeah, like, I don't know, I always like, you guys know I'm very particular about phrasing. And like, if someone like, you know, did stuff like this, like, you don't call it a mistake, right? You say like, I did horrible things. You know what I mean? You know? And again, it's fine now because again, everyone in this world is like being, has like an idealistic presence. And it's not like in a way that feels like toxic or fake. It's like, it's just a reward. It's so beautiful to have these guys have like a wishful world to live in, a beautiful world to live in, where they deserve to be happy. That's just how they are. Sorry you had to see that. Stay for dinner with us and share those stories of the starry skies. What would you like to eat? Really cool stuff as well.
Did you know that your son was voted hottest man in GQ magazine for 2026?
What's GQ magazine? Your father's uncultured. I know I'm saying uncultured. I have never read a GQ magazine in my freaking life. Never. I didn't mean to change. I pressed the wrong button.
There is, in fact, a word for happiness
Aww.
in the Kremnoan language.
That's lovely. A boring life without strife. In my view, strife is just to end the strife itself. Though it may be necessary pain in this life, there will come a day of healing. Besides, preparing each meal is just as glorious as winning battles. These days, the world is full of creatures that should have gone extinct, which have greatly enriched our ingredients. It's quite fascinating for anyone who's passionate about cooking. So, like, a lot of the creatures that are there in the world now were originally using, so it's very idealistic. Is the grand restaurant opening about to happen? Time to charge the battle with a kitchen knife? Your words are still as wild and fanciful as ever. That's so beautiful that, like, Stell's gremlin words and her gremlin actions to the romantic and poetic people of Amphoreus are like, wow, she's so fanciful. What a wild character. Do you still hate Europon? In my past life, before father murdered mother, he said, Gorgon I met and fell in love with the blood and dust of battle, so allow me to bid farewell to personality in battle once more. In this life, he said the same words, but when he fought alongside my mother, sacrificing himself on the battlefield in defiance against Lygus. Okay. As my answer, I'm sure you already know. So, okay. Alright, let's hope your appetite is big as you say. So, like, again, as I'm saying, like, the reason why I was so shocked to see Europe on here at all is because I didn't even know there was a part of Mightimos that would, you know, or in this idealistic world for someone like Europon. But the way I look at it as well is that, like, with toxic parents, and he's more than toxic, he was downright evil and horrible, right? Like, people can judge all they want. Now, by the way, I'm saying you should judge Europon. I want to make that clear. But what I'm saying is that, like, people often go like, how could the child want to still talk to Europon, even like with all these memories? And you know, people can say, well, Calvin's a different timeline and all this stuff too. But I'm saying, like, even in that sense, without remembering all the stuff that Europon did, how is it possible for him to want to talk to Europon and all this stuff and have these like little family things here? Because again, children do often crave to be with their parents. It's just, and it doesn't matter how old you are, it is just a factual statement. It's so difficult to cut yourself off from your parents. So like Mightimos having this idealistic world where he's able to have dinner with his parents is probably the best case scenario in a lot of cases for like the toxic past that was had there. Welcome, Gray. But I need you to tend to 2 patients first, so you'll have to take care of yourself for a while. Look at this trio. That's Trian, right? Why are there still still people getting hurt? Don't tell me the injured person is. Should be a peaceful haven free of illness with no cleaners prying and no black-tie creatures lurking. But some people just can't sit still and are always looking for something fun to do. Isn't that right, Trian? Yeah, it is Trian, because you can see Trian has more of a mischievous face on them. What? Syphy? I was just taking the chance to test your medical skills. Don't get too full of yourself, Grove Girl. Mind your manners. Little Syphy, show some respect to the doctor. So what's bothering you all? Such a practice response. Looks like Gray is well versed in the examination routine.
Well, here's what happened. Trian wanted a rocket to soar higher and farther. But firepower was too strong. Trian lost control of her aim and the rocket went whoosh as it fell landing on her head. Oh, sorry, Trian. Trian, make sure to dodge next time. And you, Syphi. A doctor needs a full story to make accurate diagnosis. Well, I was just sitting around, so I thought I'd tweak the hand of Zagreus on a whim. Turns out the little toy's aim was decent, but the firepower was lacking. Just when I was getting into it, it fizzled out midair. Little Syphi, did you hit your head too? Not exactly, and landed right in the middle of a group of elders. They were gossiping away when it happened, and it caused an uproar. They chased me halfway down the street, and I ended up stepping on my tail in the chaos.
Hard to believe it wasn't on purpose.
I swear it was totally an accident. At least this time. But I thought of something. If we had the hand of Zagreus to guide Big Sis Trian's rockets, then Trian's rockets to give the hand some firepower.
Oh my god, that way the rockets will fly faster and more accurately.
Little Syphi, let's try it right away. And thanks to you too, City.
Thanks, Grove Girl. Look at the smile on her face though. Even Dromesis couldn't stop him. There's no dealing with them. She is smiling because she's happy to be with these two mischievous characters.
But Gray, Trian and Syphi still look so full of energy. There's no need to worry.
Yeah. She is happy to be with them regardless, you know?
See you tomorrow, Amphoreus.
Okay.
Gray, constellation hours are over. Let me see. Consultation hours are over. Next on the schedule is afternoon tea time. Back to the old grind. Yeah, I have to thank Trian and Gray, otherwise my medical skills would have gone rusty.
They just left like that?
For a doctor, there's no better news than seeing their patients leave alive and kicking.
I'm stronger now, even after everything that you did. Still alive and kicking. Okay.
Great, I'll prepare some snacks and tea for Gray. Make sure to visit often.
There's nothing better than a cup of tea and a biscuit, man. A cup of tea and a chocolate biscuit, I tell you that much. It's great.
See you tomorrow, Amphoreus.
Oh my god, the way they're saying this, Gray mystery. On one hand, once the Hand of Zagreus gets its upgrade, it needs a cooler name. How does Hand of Cyphera sound? That does sound amazing. Does Bartholos know about this decision? With a bit of sweet talk and some goodies to sniff, they'll understand my reasoning. I've got a feeling the Council of Elders is in for a trouble again. For every Hand of Cypher that passes the test, the group of Elders gets hurt. But it's all exploring the stars, and Amphoreus tomorrow. Don't understand a small sacrifice like this. Alright, Trian and I keep brainstorming. We'll keep brainstorming, and next time we'll show you something really epic. Trian, who is my favorite of the Trebioses. Little Gray, is there any way to make a rocket fly higher and farther?
Maybe we could ask the winged beast?
Yeah, they live in the sky, so they must know the winds, air, and air currents better than anyone. Looks like I'll need to prepare more apples for little Ika.
I still prefer the Sentry Gate.
Sure, the Sentry Gate is convenient and all, but sitting on a rocket with the wind whooshing across your ears, now that's a whole different experience.
Let me think about it.
Little Gray's brilliant idea always gives me so much inspiration. So what's so cool about this is, again, we're seeing this kind of like, everyone's just so happy now in this world. You're seeing Cyphera and Trian just like, you know, Trian doing kid stuff, by the way. Cyphera getting to do like some mischievous kind of like stuff with these rockets as well. It does generally feel like everyone's just getting to live their happy lives here. And again, that means like the cutscene we saw, or the music that we saw, you know, it's like, with the, what's it called? Hello World, I believe it's called. The Hello World music video, to me, then screams the idea that that was supposed to be a written maybe world for them, right? Where it's like there's maybe like there's ideas, maybe there's what ifs, maybe what they, you know, in some ways, right? So I wonder if there's like also like parts of the book where we can see those parts too. Not we're gonna get to see them, but like we could possibly see them. Let's go and to here and talk to the greatest design of all time, High Sealands. When she's on the banner, guys, because we've saved up so much. By the way, we've saved up so much. Look at this. Like we've literally saved up like an astronomical amount of stuff here. Oh, people have asked me about the Fate collab. I do intend to do it. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun to do the Fate collab at some point. Especially since, like, you know, I don't know much about Fate. I saw like the openings for stuff like that and Roma Reacts and stuff like that. But I don't actually know the stories and stuff like that. Oh. The campaign is over, and our deeds are accomplished. Set aside the worries of weighing on your mind, for now, and share a drink with me, Imperator. I bought a once-in-a-lifetime Millennium Vintage today. Miss it, and you have to wait another 1,000 years. Ha! Dex Caliorum, 1,000 years is but a mere blink in the eye of a grand campaign. I appreciate the thought, but please gift a treasure to my ministers instead. I'm sure Dux Carminum will cherish the gift. I knew you tried to weasel out of it, so I already celebrated with them before coming here. Guess it's a tactical oversight on my part this time. But as a king, I must bear the weight of every move on the chessboard. Indulging myself in honey brew would only lead to total defeat, so I still can't drink it. Might it spark some new inspiration? Indeed, new ideas always rise from the mind after a good drink, like fizzy bubbles. You both make fair points, but... well, no need to force it. Seems like a vintage will just have to be enjoyed by just us alone, little grey fry. We're not going to force it upon you after all. Oh well, clarity of mind is important, but to spoil my dear subject's joy in the feast would be a greater loss still. I agree. I do agree. Well then, here's to the Amphoreus tomorrow. Hell yeah. Quite the stringent bite. Enjoying a drink together is very fun.
One day, Amphoreus will shine bright in this starry sky.
I've accepted your proposal for a drink. Surely you two will quit stalling on my invitation for a chess game, right? We'll play until there's a winner. Very well. Seems like I'll have to get serious and show you what I'm capable of. Any tricks to winning at chess? Chess is the art of sacrifice. Each pin, capture, and triumph is purchased with a death piece. Even the king is no exception. How much you will sacrifice to win? That's the question you must ask yourself before making a move. That is true. Why not study some chess manuals during your break? Come back when you're well prepared. The goat, High Sealands.
The fish have already swum into the harbor now.
The Grey Fry care for a cup as well. I don't personally drink in real life, but like I don't. It's not like I swear off alcohol. It's one of those situations where like I haven't drank now in years, right? It's been about 4 or 5 years maybe. But also like before that I hadn't drank for a bit too. I always drink like on a thing where it's like if someone's like, hey, like let's have a toast, I'm like, okay, I'll drink like a and this doesn't often like happen where someone's like, let's do a toast, but I'm like, I'm not swearing off it in terms of like I can't drink it no matter what. It's like, okay, if it's an occasion, I might drink something, but really like I don't drink. You know what I mean? It's been years. Yeah. So like I'm not against it, but I just don't. I just don't drink alcohol really. But if it's like a glass of champagne at a get together where everyone's doing a toast, I'll sip on it. I'll sip on a glass of champagne. Does that make sense? Where it's like I don't drink, but like it's like also I'm not swearing off it because it's like a issue, right? You know what I mean? That makes sense. Yeah, fill her up. And that's the spirit. A honey brew should indeed be downed in one go. Well, this is another side of the Imperator. The higher you stand, the easier it is for people to see you. To see you only mantle of the power, overlooking the small yet ordinary details. When you have time, little Grey Fry, do chat with the Imperator more. Gladly, little Grey Fry. Don't keep me waiting too long this time. So, what's so cool about the Imperator's story here is that they've gone from being like, I want to conquer the world, to I just want Amphoreus to have its place among the stars, right? And for High Sealands, it's actually a very simple, idealistic part of the world that she wants, which is just have a drink. Just have a drink with Saridra. Being able to enjoy the fruits of all the things they've done. Not have to worry about, what she has to achieve to get a happiness or a feast. She just gets a feast. Now, so we can actually go to... I don't know if we have to like to go legitimately in here to do the quest, or if it's a situation where we can go to like Idis Elysia. Let's go to Idis Elysia really quick to see if maybe like this is where we have to go.
Oh, is that a stain?
It's not that, because that's Cyreni's
coat.
always there. That Cyreni's always there. So I think it might be that thing where it's the quest marker in Amphoreus, because I feel like when she said check to find us, we would have been there, right, for sure, or she would have been here. So it might just be that quest mark. Now the thing is, like with I don't know why it didn't activate as a quest. Oh. Wait, what?
Oh, these are all different, yeah, events and stuff like that as well. But I don't think As I've Written is here. All these quests, man. Here, oh, here it is. Okay. That is it. Okay, it was just so far down the page. That's good. That's fine.
Oh, is that a stain?
Oh.
I like this coat.
Okay, yeah. So there we go. Okay, so we see like when we warp back in here, we get like a different variation as well. Yeah, as I was saying, the like, it is a thing where this is. I wanted to do this at least once, right? And as I said, I don't like to like know about this stuff. But again, I'm not going to sit here and lie and pretend that like I didn't hear about like the fact that you can go in and talk to these characters and like the fact that it's maybe might be like a ongoing thing. I wanted to like, at least do it once and then talk to them, and then we might like, if people want to see more videos where we go in and warp in and out and talk to them, that we can definitely do that. Or if they want to see like maybe a video before we go to the next region where we can talk to all the characters over and over again, I definitely want to do that. We're doing As I've Written today. So we're definitely going to continue on with As I've Written as well. Because I feel like there's like so many variations we could do. And maybe you guys can tell me at that point like how many variations there are. Because at this point I know there are variations. But yeah, and I want to make it clear, the person who like said this, like made a mistake. Legitimately made a mistake. They heard that I finished Amphoreus but thought it was everything. I don't hold it against them. People make mistakes. Yeah, it happens. It happens 100%. There's no hard feelings or hurt feelings or anything like that as well. So if you're that person watching this being like, oh no, I gave Calvin a hint on like the fact that like, you can go back and talk to these characters at some point, and the fact that it might be like different each time. It's not gonna kill me. But obviously, in the future, I would say to anyone, I don't want to obviously know that, but this person just made a mistake and heard I finished Amphoreus and thought that it was like, okay. Again, no hard feelings. If you're watching this, do not worry. Do not worry. I just want to be honest with the audience and be like, hey, I did, know parts of this for sure. Let's go to As I've Written. Yeah, we can go and totally talk to them at some point as well. If you guys definitely want to see those type of videos, I can do a whole video where I just warp in and out and talk to them over and over again. I have no problem doing that. The nebula blooms with radiance tracing the silhouette of a garden. A newborn world is about to sprout. The scene is the ending of the As I've Written, and also the origin point of Amphoreus in the real world. One day it will give birth to the true life. The people in the memory will be born one by one, waiting for you tomorrow. Okay. Is the origin point of Amphoreus in the real world? Yeah, I think that's what they were saying, right? The idea that like at one point it will grow into something, right? Okay. The stars breathe silently. You are certain that the fruit of the Amphoreus has been planted. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. But what about the cause? Until that day comes, the journey continues. Endless possibilities unfold beneath your feet, and only the memory remains in yesterday. I don't want to set off alone. Perhaps there's still something I can do. What? You recall the promise of the Trailblaze. The story of the flame chase will echo across the stars. People will remember the Amphoreus was a brilliant, magnificent world. You think you can't let more people read As I've Written? You can let more people read As I've Written, preserving the memories in this world. If you do this, the causality will become more stable. You can't be certain, but you're willing to believe. That's awesome, because we did have the idea of spreading the story of Amphoreus to the whole world. So like us doing that actually does make a lot of sense. What matters is that this is a promise shared between you and many others. Perhaps it's time to fulfill my promise. Oh, we have to go to the... car. Okay. So, what's so cool about this as well, I want to make it clear here. This is awesome. The fact that, like, I have this comforting feeling that I can go back and talk to these characters, like, multiple different times. Amazing. It's so amazing. But, as I said, like, we always got the idea that we would see them again in some form, right? Now... There's always a possibility they wouldn't do this, but I feel like it's very like, it'd be very crazy if they just didn't bring these characters back again. It would be insane. It would be absolutely insane. But yeah, let's keep going with As I've Written for now, and we can definitely do a whole thing on like, oh, it's in Stell's room. Okay. Oh. The book As I've Written. Oh my god, and the song in the background. So, Stell, you're saying you want to mass print a text of As I've Written? such a great idea, Stell. What the hell? Oh, that's so good. Not a bad idea. However, any publication on the International Network must go through the IPC's channels. I'm not sure how they feel about this. I got some connections there, you know what I mean? I got some connections. Don't worry, we have allies. Yeah, I've so many connections there. Yeah! Oh, connection 1, connection 2. Legit who I was thinking of. We already discussed the details of the project with the Business Consolidation Department. The verdict is approved. Yes! This is so cool. I'm getting chills. Thanks to our experience in Reload 6, we were able to close this deal. Rather than focusing on short-term gains, establishing a model of preservation will be more beneficial for long-term development. So, like, the idea of, like, they see it as, like, a benefit to, like, keep this, like, world alive in some ways. Besides, safeguarding the new and growing civilization is precisely what the Strategic Investment Department was made to do. According to Dr. Ratio, establishing consistent understanding of Amphoreus across the cosmos will aid its future to a certain degree. I love that. It's two things, right? Where it's also like the IPC would see like nurturing a world as like a good thing because then eventually they could use it for something. That's factual, right? They've done that before. But also at the same time too, Dr. Ratio is kind of sure it's true here. The idea of if we understand Amphoreus and Amphoreus is able to survive and like spread its knowledge everywhere, we can learn so much from it. Love that. Yeah, this is my connect. When I said connections, I legit was like Topaz and Aventurine. That's right, the Interstellar Peace and Entertainment will handle the publication of As I've Written, and the IPC will cover all related expenses. I love that. As for liaison with the various planets, we'll leave that to the Nameless. That makes sense. I see you've long prepared, as expected, the Throne of Worlds of Amphoreus. That's such a crazy nickname. Perhaps soon it'll be time for the young ones to take charge of the Express. Don't sound so world-weary, Welt. We've got plenty of youth left. Even though the IPC is helping out, knowing you definitely want to go check it out yourself, right? Go ahead and sow the seeds of civilization. Create a story that belongs to you. I love that. Oh my god. They should, I know they are proud of Stella, man. This is such a great idea. It's a story that belongs to everyone. Keep going. It's like an unwritten rule among the Nameless. Press forward and see it through to the end. This is so beautiful. Time is the essence and you head to bit. Wait, we're going to different. We're actually doing this? I'm so happy about this.
Oh, is that a stain? I like this coat.
Wait, March just standing there? I mean, I'm happy to see March any time of the day, but like, it was just such a surprise to see her here. Yeah, that seems to be like a different quest, because if his voice as well, it's definitely not the As I've Written quest, so I think it's probably for something entirely different as well. Let's go and... Oh, we have to pass by here. I thought we had to talk to this guy over here. I was like, oh, wow. Oh my god, Bronya and Sealis. We're actually just like spreading the idea of like As I've Written like everywhere now, I guess. Which I'm all for. It's been a while, Stella. I heard you were coming, so I invited Sela as well. Oh my god, it's so good to see them. Especially like, you know, get that like we haven't seen them probably like in full since the quest with right, with Topaz, right? Which again, you know, that makes sense. The kids at the orphanage are too scared to even go outside now because of destruction. Never mind that. What did you want to talk about? Talk about As I've Written. We're trying to spread this word right. It's so good to see. I hope you recounted the stories as oh. Okay. Oh, this music. The whole cosmos was shaken up by what you did. Pretty impressive how you managed to sort everything out. I love that everyone heard about it too. Isn't Sela just like a really, really pretty character design? Like legitimately, what a way to start like Honkai Star Rail, this being one of the earliest character designs, you know what I mean? Thanks to Miss Topaz, anti-Ironton Maxime and her timely shutdown, the engine of creation, Belobog was able to avoid another crisis. Don't worry, the reconstruction plan hasn't been affected, but I must say, even a tiny people in the universe became a tsunami when it reaches the frontier planets. In a tiny ripple. Yeah, and that is true. Like, it's how it would affect all the planets individually as well. The same goes for Amphoreus. As similarly developing civilization, we are willing to contribute to its future. Goodwill is like a torch. It can only burn brighter when it's passed on. I love that she's using the ideas like, yeah, like the fact that we know what it's like to have to like, you know, rebuild and to try and like, you know, get the word out that we're back, which they did have to do. That's why they sent, in a way, that's why they sent Luca as well to like the Xian show. There's being like, we can relate to this. I love that.
I'm not on for fancy words, but if you need help, I'll definitely be there. Alright, Stella, I've got something to ask you. Come with me later. Wait, legit? Could it be what's so secretive? Don't ask, just be there. I'm not playing around. I mean, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, what? Is she okay, Hook? I don't remember finding you here. My legs are going numb. What happened to Hook? Hook, what are you... Yeah, what happened? I heard from Claire that she's using the Diggertron to help with mining, but the power was too much, and she fell and broke her leg. I'm afraid she won't be able to take the interstellar flights anymore. What? She wants you to hear your fresh stories from beyond the sky so she won't have any regrets. Wait, hold on a second here. No, not skip the girl. What are you talking about? Wait, so she can't go anywhere anymore? That's not right. That's so sad. What did Dr. Natasha say? Just take it as the truth. Don't worry too much about the details. Wait. Oh. You help Hook out, right? Wait, so... I keep pressing the wrong button. I keep pressing the Genshin button. Are they joking? Like saying like, so she won't do this again? Or she literally... look how adorable she is. So she can't take in like flights? Is that what they're saying? Well, since you all say so... You retell the story as I've written to Hook, sentence by sentence, especially those thrilling parts naturally done in the voice of a bat spy. Oh, it's so adorable. Wowza, legends, galaxies, and giant monsters, so cool. I knew there were so many interesting things beyond the sky, but Julia and others wouldn't believe me. I'm gonna tell them right now. That's so sweet. Hook sprang off from the bed with a whoosh and dashed away in a flash. Nice work, Doc. You're a real miracle worker. Didn't she hurt her leg in the fall? Oh yeah, she just got up. She just got up. Perhaps your story is so fascinating and curative without a dream, but I just realized she just got up. I mean, I was just playing around here. She wanted to see you. Children are like that. That's adorable. Wait, she could have just asked. I would have got to see her. All that fuss for nothing. Well, at least she's okay. I should get going. Keep an eye on Hook and make sure she doesn't pull any weird stunts. Legitimately, like, I would like have just seen Hook 100%. This is so nice going back to this world as well, right? So nice. Natasha. The children's energy seems to be endless. Ought to be young. It's so funny that being like back in Balebug just like not funny, but like it instantly just like makes me feel like I'm at the start of the game again. By the way, that book seems really interesting. Would you mind sharing a copy with me? Next time a child is being difficult, I can use it to comfort them. It feels like you're treating this like a fairy tale. What's wrong with fairy tales? That story contains defiance, courage, and love. Exactly what qualities children should learn, I agree. Besides, writing fairy tales is quite challenging. You must believe in the existence of beautiful things to write them about them. In my opinion, sometimes adults need fairy tales even more than children do. Since you said so. Thank you. Now could you sign this for me? Add a little message too. There's a word for this. Yes, book signing. Consider this a practice for future book signings. That's awesome. What should I write? May we meet again among the stars. Everyone who dreams of being a hero. This is the story of Amphoreus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don hung at void rain. No, okay, let's do this. Well written indeed. This makes me the first owner of your exclusively signed copy. That's so awesome. I'll pass this book down through generations. 500 years, 1,000 years, as long as children keep growing up, and children's children have children, it'll never be forgotten. After all, some things must be remembered, like that supreme guardian, like all the acts of defiance that occurred among the stars. Dr. Natasha, I brought them. Where's that book? I can't remember all the details in it. Oh, Hook brought everyone to be like, hey, I'm not lying. Look at this book. Well, then I should tell you the story again. That's lovely. That's amazing.
Does Amphoreus
We're going to the Zion show.
Heard there used to be 6.
Huh?
That's more than we've got.
They're all crowding around the book. The story says Amphoreus had 6 moons. Guess they didn't need to turn on the lights at night. That's such a childlike way of looking at it. But they had no sun, only something called the Dawn device mounted on the back of a tallest engine of creation. Anka, you're only getting half the story again. It's not called the engine of creation. It's called the Titan. Can someone really carry the sun on their back? I'm not a gullible kid you can fool. I can testify yes, we definitely did. You carried the Dawn device? Yeah, right, and I could totally take on Uncle Savarog. But will Balebog one day vanish from the universe like Amphoreans did? Leaving behind nothing except a book? If that happens, we'll never get to popping candies again, or listen to Natasha's stories. No more playing hide and seek or cheering for big brother Luca at the arena. Amphoreus hasn't disappeared. I'll say this is reassuring. If the day ever comes, I'll stand tall like the heroes of Amphoreus and protect every boulder in town. Then we can sign a trade, adorn with the Amphoreans, just like we did in the Zan show. That's, again, these kids are the future and we're in good hands. Honk, you forgot the name again. It's called Mutual Benefit Trade Agreement. That's not the point. The point is we can go to Hot Springs Nakama, ride Dromeses, and I want to raise a little Chimera. But can we really take an instant flight to Amphoreus like Boss Hook? Taking the Astro Express isn't bad either. Before that, you need to grow up properly. I really wish I could grow up faster. Nah, man. Everyone feels that way when they're younger. It's about like, you know, that it's you when you're younger you feel the way. Then like when you're older, like obviously there's like a thing where you want to stay like an adult because of course there's like so many benefits, of course. But like you also like, I feel like on the daily there's a moment where you're like, man, remember when I just used to like sit down on a Saturday morning and watch Kim Possible? You know, that was an easy time. Yeah, it looks like we're going to different planets. Does that mean we're gonna get to go to Penacony as well? I'd love that. Maybe get to talk to Robin, because we know we already talked to like Sunday's with us all the time, but I'd definitely love to talk to Robin if we could. So Junior Sora, great changes are coming. Why not join Yuji and the Master Diviner? That way I can catch a breather too. General Yao Gang must be joking. If I stay on the Luofu, I'm sure to inherit a position of general. If I transfer to Yoshi, I'd be nothing more than a mere Master Diviner for life. How can I not see which paths hold more promise? Junior Sora's Optimus is truly delightful. Looks like the optimistic general is the Luofu speciality. Your visit here okay, the text is going by very fast here. Still, perfect timing. I was just about to visit the Astro Express. Were you? What's the matter? So that means canonically they also just all visit the Astro Express, you know? Which is very, very funny. Not funny, it's very good, right? It means that like those times where we see him on the Express, it's canon. Jade just hanging out on the Express is canon. Because that's the whole point. Pom Pom doesn't turn people away. You recounted the story behind it as I've written and the current state of Amphoreus. Before obtaining this book, I only knew that the golden blood was reaped in this battle, and thus it was deemed a great victory. So they did get the golden blood. I didn't know that within the golden blood lay such a stirring and tragic story. Shortly after the fall of Iron Tomb, the Alliance scattered all the generals to discuss their next course of action. The records in this book should provide them with additional support. What should we do? Rest assured, whether through opera, storytelling, or crosswalk, the Luofu never lacks the ways to spread stories that capture people's hearts. Besides, the Alliance has been fighting battles ever in recent years, I know. And there's been plenty of tales about their valor and victories. The word hero already carries weight in the people's hearts. Hero, one person's hero is one person's like killer, right? In a lot of ways, and especially with like when it comes to the battles of Xianzhou. The faithful adaptations of this as I've written within the Alliance is most definitely assured. But what you said, if you want it to be remembered throughout the cosmos, the Luofu must alone may not be enough. The matter requires the Skyfaring Commission's assistance. Go talk to Yu Kong. I'll inform her of the full situation. Okay, so this is literally just like a really beautiful. Like I said, the last episode was an epilogue. This feels like the ending of like a big saga and a movie where like you like have done so many things and now like you're just traveling around, kind of like seeing how everyone is, you know. But in this case, it's like we're spreading the story of Amphoreus, like as we wanted to, right? As we've written. It's really beautiful. It's a really beautiful thing, it is. It's me, Kafka. Hand over your doubloons. You a pirate today, Kafka? I'm a pirate. A false sky is sealed by a pantheon. An exploration of challenging taboos one after another. Sounds like some kind of fable. I can make you a promise that the Sky Caring Commission... We're the Sky Caring Commission. We're different from the Faring Commission. We care. Sky Faring Commission will provide its full support for matters relating to As I've Written. From now on, the connection between the Xianzhou ships will grow even closer, and I'll have merchant vessels export As I've Written to our allied fleets. With the convenience of Whistling Flames Guild, this matter should be handled quite smoothly. Though the Luofu emerged victorious in the Battle of Iron Tomb, we did not escape unscathed. Your safe return is truly a blessing. Yeah, as I said, they're going to have like so many casualties. It's all thanks to my companions. Back when I was a pilot, I used to go on adventures everywhere with my companions in our star skiff. Even though we always managed to get out of sticky situations, we inevitably get stern talking to when we returned. Those were the reckless days of my youth. If I had to choose again, I'd probably walk the same path as your account of the trailblaze in your book. I'd like to ask you a personal question. What do you think of this journey to Amphoreus? Just another trailblaze? An unforgettable journey. All of these. And you say just another trailblaze. Yeah, like I don't mean this in a bad way. I think it's like that's the way we kind of saw it in the end. That's what we have to do. But I understand this could have a negative connotation. But like, I mean, it's just like, hey,
yeah, we did it in our trailblazing journey. But yeah, I'd say this is a good way to put it. Is that so? Such a wonderful memory. I'm actually getting a bit envious. When I say like it's just on our trailblazer journey, I mean that's the way like in the end we kind of like saw it's like, hey, this is just what we do. You know, even though it was a beautiful time, it's also like, hey, this is what we do, which I think is very beautiful too. Memory is quite a peculiar thing. Sometimes I even think it's a prank by Fuli. With the Foxy and Celestials of Vidihara, they all possess lifespans far beyond those of short-life species. One of the downsides, okay. For us, history feels like it happened yesterday, all precisely because the memories remain vivid in our island's division ready. The Legion's groans possess of level, we cannot dare let our guard down. Look at me, what am I saying? Be it the eons of war or these topics are too grand, we shouldn't let them consume too much of our thoughts. Regarding as I've written, I'll do my utmost and won't let these heroic deeds be buried by the stars. Lovely. Jing Liu's name up there as well.
Stronger, Lord Finan or General Jing Yuan?
Oh my god, it's being spread about here as well.
Why don't you go ask the general?
Who's more powerful they're talking about? The day he left in disgrace, bearing thorns and apology. Today he returns bathed in blood, triumphant. Kremnos, his homeland, lay all in ruins, split asunder by blazing forge that have forged adamant. Guys, the fact that they're spreading stories about the people of Amphoreus, like storytellers, like entertainment, that is so good. It's so good. Today we should not speak of the psycho pomp of Idonia, but of Mightimos, the backlit spirit warden, and bears the name by name Maide. The name Maide that signifies a foe that no multitude could withstand, as well as a foe who none among the tens of thousands could overcome. Cheer. All right. The wind tore to the banners, and the rain beat down upon the remnants of the army. Across the plain rose cries of sorrow, yet only the roar of the lions was heard. And you ask, what manner of man was this Maide?
Hot. He was beautiful. He was beautiful.
He was the crown prince of Kremnos, cast off by his father, drifting for years upon the Sea of Souls, where he forged an indestructible body summoned by the thousand-faced matriarch. He threw himself into the great cause of the flame chase. Thereafter, he hewed down the black tide, passed the trial, drank the crimson brew of blood, drove back the calamitous star of misfortune. He settled all grievances, guarded the holy city, and reclaimed his sunken homeland, and ascended the agate throne. Now this epic, like battle, hardened lions on the throne of Kremnos' mighty name shall echo through the ages. Let's cheer. All right. Though countless cycles of upheaval, as I've written, reveals the truth of Amphoreus. Want to know what happens next? Stay tuned for the next chapter. This is just amazing. Again, as I said, I picture this like a movie, and we're going to freaking like Penacony next, by the way, which is incredible. But like the reason why it feels like a movie, you know those big movies where at the end of it, like there's like this moment where like the characters like, I gotta like set everything right, you know what I mean? Or I gotta like, let their families know like what happened to their son. And in this case, it's like Stell literally taking upon herself her own wants and her own wishes to spread the story of Amphoreus everywhere. And instead of doing it in a way that I thought we were gonna do, which is like gradually bring the book with us and kind of tell people about it, Stell has been very proactive. Let's just publish this. Let's spread this to every single place. It's actually like really, really good. Stell's amazing. Oh my god. We don't get to go back to Penacony a lot.
Oh, is that a stain?
Who are we talking to over here? Who are we talking to over here?
Trash can is perfect for me, and perfectly legal for me to stay in.
Who are we going to be talking to, do you think? They'll probably spawn in when we get over here. Hopefully Robin. Oh no, it's the Trailblaze. Yeah, the Trailblazers. Yeah. The Tree Nameless, yeah. Oh, it's Micah. Mikhail always welcomes visitors. For those who lose their way, he never fails to point them in the right direction. But there's no confusion in your expression. I'm guessing you're not here for answers. I completed the Trailblaze journey. I made unforgettable memories. I'm here to tell a story. That's a beautiful way of putting it. That's right. Together with another author, I wrote a book about the Trailblaze journey. This time I'm here to tell that story. I want to share the experience with those who came before. All right. Let's tell them what kind of story this really is. So that's really beautiful. That's, again, sentimentally, like getting to tell the story to the past Trailblazers. It's actually a really beautiful thing. People who've already been on such amazing journeys that would be very proud of Stell, you know? So much has happened in Amphoreus. How could I sum it up in just a few words? This story, it's going to take a while.
Let's start with the world of Amphoreus. A world that defies destiny. A world born of conspiracy and sin, yet burned away alongside destruction. Before the cold and heavy destiny, it did not fall, but destiny itself did. And now for the meaning of its journey. Let the closed world embrace the stars engaged in the showdown with destruction. Hell yeah. As a member of the Flame Chasers, you've joined Amphoreus in the grand journey. You've encountered heroes, forged bonds, and achieved greatness together. As a traveler, your footprints have already reached far and wide. Such is the way the Trailblaze, explore, understand, build, and connect. But there's always the next stop on this journey. When the whistle of departure sounds, the Express will leave, carrying all the memories with it. But the stars will remember the name of every epic. Yeah, it's like the idea we have to move on, but like it's just like our other journeys, you know, the memory is so strong in our mind too that like it's never truly forgotten. And we leave a part of ourselves in those worlds whenever we leave, it feels. Looks like the Trailblaze, this Trailblaze, a story I'll never forget. I made up my mind, let's start from the beginning. You spent countless moments in this dream within a dream. As the story ended, a certain emotion in your heart grew stronger like a burning ember. News doesn't travel fast in dreams. Every plot twist in the story caught me completely off guard. Thanks, I guess. That's all that needs to be said. I think Mikhail would be proud of you all. I think he would be. Yeah, that's a really sentimental Robin. But it's hologram Robin? Why can't they just be real Robin? The journey against destruction and the stories behind it should be known by more people. Yeah, I do think it is a really beautiful thing. Stell, I think, is, while she's goblin mode sometimes, while she's crazy, she obviously is a very sentimental person. And the fact that she thought of going to, like, the past Trailblazes first shows that she's so dedicated to the path of Trailblaze, but also, like, it to me, it signifies the idea of, like, their past memories and the past memories of the Trailblazers being so important. So, like, if she's able to tell the people of the past who their stories are so important and their Trailblaze is so important, her version of her Trailblaze story, then it makes it feel more important as well. Also, it puts a kind of emphasis on it. The journey against destruction in the story, yeah, okay. I know a few publishers can make a dream bubble based on the sample books and put them on the market in Penacony. However, as you know, Penacony is a realm wrapped in syrup. I worry the epic tales of heroes might be too heavy for those in living. So it's like, because it's so real and so brutal that like the people in the world might not be like happy to read it. All we can do is put it on the shelf. Whether it survives the competition, there are too many uncertainties. But I think, Stella, you should just follow what your heart tells you. People can only tell stories they truly believe in. Once you've made up your mind, go see Edward. I'll convince Mr. Oti to help out. See you later. Robin, how about we talk for a bit longer? In Penacony, dreams must conform to reality, and as I've written is no exception. What will you choose? Look at you. This is a dreamscape where furniture can talk. Why not hear what they have to say? What? Yeah, I suppose. I would have traded this for a longer conversation with Robin, if I'm being real with you. Would have traded it. A vase of flowers. It looks like quite expensive. As you approach, the languid voice echoes from within. Dear Captain, do you remember me? I've been watching you for quite a while. Tell me your story and I'll teach you about a niche art. As long as you immerse yourself in the world, your own world, you won't get hurt. The vase is immersed in its own world, completely silent. The vintage dial phone stares at you, occasionally rolling its eyeballs like an owl. Captain, did you know that I wasn't always a dial phone? I used to be an owl, but I'm not an owl anymore. I'm a dial phone. Want to take a guess why? If you know, you know. And if you don't know, well, no amount of explaining will help. Riddlers need to get out of Penacony. Was that us saying that? Riddlers need to get out of Penacony? The cathode ray tube. Oh, that's not part of it? Oh, there it is. Okay. You approach the control console and the four control levers wiggle excitedly back and forth as if waving at you. Captain, look at me. I'm a control stick, and I'm an expert at controlling hearts. Trust me, just tweak the ending a tiny bit to make it less perfect, and people will absolutely crazy. Oh, okay, so like... They're saying it has to conform to reality. So the ending has to be less perfect? But a hot take, right? Hot take.
Like, the whole idea of it being a perfect story is not, like, I don't know. I feel like you need that type of ending of idealism to combat the world of pain that these characters have gone through, you know what I mean? If anyone looks at the story and goes, wow, it's too ideal in the end, it's like, they went through more pain than most characters will ever go through. You take the furniture's advice to heart, which provides practically zero guidance. Looks like it's up to you to make the final verdict. After all, you're the one who lives through this story. Should I make some changes? As you know, nothing is taken seriously in Penacony. Even heroes' tales of blood and tears are just casual gossip over dinner. You remember Clocky, Brother Hanu, Miss Note. They're all living legends. Oh my god, look at them. As everything gets passed down in the same mocking way. So it's how legends were turned into more of a mocking, kind of like a parody of things, which it was true. It did turn into more of a parody of things, but I believe in Amphoreus is a beautiful way to put it. The answer is crystal clear from the start. The story of the three nameless is the best proof of that, isn't it?
Oh, is that a stain?
Oh my god, we're back
I
here.
like this coat.
It's such a great location. Yeah. Because I said in the finale, it's like, I think Penacony, like, I don't know. I feel like, the way I would describe it, I think Penacony overall will always be like probably like my favorite overall experience, but I think that Amphoreus has higher highs and like more epic and like emotionally painful and destructive moments, if that makes sense. So that's probably the way I look at it sometimes too. When I originally left Penacony, I actually felt like the show was actually my favorite place. But then over time I was like, no, I think Penacony I prefer Penacony in some ways. Love, friendship, rage, regrets. Tiny dream bubble contains such complex emotions. It's like pouring a whole bottle of vodka into a dolem. Thank you for finding the memories. Here is my verdict. It's bound to be a huge hit. Even if the results aren't what we expected, I can still have the heroes tap dance in the vortex of Genesis. That'll just be a big success. Just kidding. Rest assured, I'm a professional dream bubble collector. I know what can and can't be successful. And so, as I've written, was published in Penacony. Some guessed the alfalfa was behind it, and they weren't wrong. With such a big favor ready for the taking, why not use it? Let the young folks keep stirring things up. Who knows? Maybe they will actually change the universe one day. Okay. So, oh, we're going to the space station. That's pretty cool as well. Like, honestly, like I feel like this is like just a really great quest to have after the heaviness that was Amphoreus. I think it's perfect because I feel like you could have had like another jump right into the next thing as well like this too. But like genuinely, I definitely needed to cool down after what happened. You know.
Oh, is that a stain? I like this coat.
You guys have written Dasta. Right, let's send the damaged ships to Pier Point and have the IBC foot the bill. Hell yeah. Bad news, good news? Good news? No, bad news first. Now I think about it, starting with the bad news might be a bit too abrupt. Let's give you the good news first. You gave me the choice. Remember that star knot I gave you? The good news is that I got one from the space pirate. But the fleet was dispatched to fight against Iron Tomb, and that star knot was destroyed. I've reposted my purchase orders, but it'll be tough to find another seller anytime soon for a ship of that size. I'll sell it. Actually, I'm here for Iron Tomb too. You recounted the story as I've written and the current state of Amphoreus. I have to say, this idea is way more interesting than the researcher's project. It's a shame you don't need to have funding, or I definitely invest a few $100 million credits. Oh yeah, Asta just like throwing money at stuff, which we love her for it. She's amazing. I took an elective called History of the Frontier Planets back in my student days. The professor warned us on the first day to not take anything at face value. Many worlds add exaggerated elements to their local hero legends, claiming their ancestors' bloodlines are inherited from some aeon,
and eventually having an extraordinary origin story became quite the trend. But isn't that how stories work? When people enough believe in them, they gradually become reality. I'll get as I've written added to the space station's required reading list. That's awesome. The researchers may not be interested in mythology, but once they hear of Madame Herta's project, they'll get excited as a peppy. That's so smart. This game is so smart. That's such a great way of putting it. Speaking of Herta, where is Herta? The reason why that's great is that, like, of course, like, these scientists would be kind of like, I don't care about this type of stuff, right? That's natural. But, like, also at the same too, as soon as they find out Herta was involved in this stuff and Herta, like, literally connected with Noose in that way, it's like, oh, okay, let's read about this, you know? Madame Herta has overexerted herself. She still needs some time to recover. That makes perfect sense. Jesus freaking Christ, what she went through. She was incredible. Some people called her the MVP. I'm not going against that. For me, like, the MVP of the entire story, like, is hard to pick because I feel like this was, as we said, a relay race. Now, people would say Stell, right, or Cyrene. Of course, 110%. But I feel like the whole point of Amphoreus is that it was one big relay race. You know what I mean? Oh! A mere Lord Ravager isn't enough to make me overexert myself. I just wasn't online, that's all. The IPC keeps pestering me about forming some alliance. I got tired of their nagging, so I just turned on the auto-answering node. Okay. Alright, Stell, I've got some more good news. After Iron Tomb fell, the scepter was ruined, but Screwy and I managed to salvage the majority of the data. They're crucial for the newborn Amphoreus. Well, let's call it that for now. If things go smoothly, the world's evolution can skip its inorganic life phase and take it. Okay, so again, I'm not going to claim to be like, oh wow, I'm a scientist, I understand what this means. But, like, that just means progress is going to be quicker. Besides, the last extrapolation record, the one that you acted when you acted as the world-blaming titan, is crucial. The Trailblazer will replace the destruction and purify the world. Lovely. Scree has signed a special agreement with the IPC. They will closely monitor the state of Amphoreus for a while. So what happened to Cyrene? So, Stell's not aware of what happened to Cyrene, right? Fully? Yeah. So yeah, they're trying to birth a new Amphoreus. They're trying to create a new Amphoreus. And it just sounds like it can happen a lot quicker with this information as well. So what is the primary? Let's ask all these questions. So what happened to Cyrene? Oh, Herta. Herta was right there. As the heart of the scepter, she too filled the cosmos in the instant when Iron Tomb swept across all the existence. She became the memories of the stars. The surging imaginary energy enabled her to create a miracle. With her self as the cradle, she closed the cycle of causality in Amphoreus, making a world emerge from the memory zone. Of course, I know you just want to hear the outcome, but let me put it this way. She's just sleeping. Maybe she'll open her eyes again as a pink Memba sprite and once again embark on this journey to meet you. This is a huge thing from Herta. Because Herta explained, you know, the idea of, like, what's happening here, that she became like a memory of the stars. She closed the cycle of causality to stop Iron Tomb being born again. This is Herta understanding that, like, you know, Stell's been through a lot. All these characters have been through a lot. And to put in this very romantic way is very unheard of for Herta sometimes to be like, she's just sleeping. Maybe at some point she will come back to meet you, you know? But that had already happened in the past, in her subjective time. Everything has become eternal. She was smiling when she left you, so don't be sad. She'd tell you the same thing if she was here. See what I mean? Herta's not heartless. Herta understanding in this moment, like, okay, Stell's been true. And she loves Stell. Like, I want to make this clear. Herta's rude to a lot of people, and Herta, like, doubts a lot of people, and Herta, like, has no problem being bad to some people. Not bad, but rude and kind of, like, not even rude, but very, like, forward with some people and sharp with some people. When she talks about Stell, it's so subtle, but it's always like, wow, she did amazing. Oh my god, she's doing great. Oh, she's fantastic. You know what she feels like? She feels like the grandmother who, like, is really rude to the mother, but, like, the grandchild is, like, the most amazing person in the whole world, you know? You know? It really does feel like that with Herta, where Herta's kind of like, I'm rude to everyone on this. I'm not, again, I don't use the word rude. It's more forward and sharp. I'm very sharp with everyone on the space station, but not myself, you know? It's very sweet. It's a very sweet thing. But yeah, explaining this system about Cyrene to Stell in a very romantic way. How long until the newborn Amphoreus is born? This music's so good. I can't make any promises. The planet will gradually become how you remember it to be, but no one can tell when that would be. And of course, Stell would want it to happen as soon as possible. We all would, right? It might take thousands of amber eras, or it might only take a year or two. The only thing is for certain is that what you were doing was surely hasten its growth. Again, reassuring Stell. My advice is to continue the story and prepare for the worst, but keep your hope in your heart. You know that if there is one thing this world Amphoreus isn't short of, it's miracles.
Beautiful stuff again. So what is the prime mover of life? That's a good question, right? Screwy and I had reached a consensus on that. Regrettably, the answer is given by the scepter is indeed destruction. You can find a more detailed discussion in the database. But that's not Amphoreus' answer, and I don't imagine it's yours either. I have my own insights on this, which I've written in the annotations. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, you can make it your own research topic. And she'd be so happy to do that too. I don't have any other questions. Then I'll disconnect for now. Got lots of stuff to deal with. Herta signing off. I love Herta. Herta went from being a character who, when we first met her, was just like, oh, she's kind of cold and kind of distant. She's an interesting character and really unique. But I really feel like the Amphoreus arc has made her into, like, in my view, one of the best characters in the game. She really is. Madame Herta's actually been thinking about Amphoreus all this time. Last time she couldn't stop talking about something was when we contained the Celeron. I mean, it's a huge deal for a researcher, especially someone who like wants to study the the cosmos in that way too. It's a huge topic. For me, like, it's one of the things where like I would also be like, if we, it makes sense the world would be talking about it, right? It's a huge deal, but obviously it hasn't spread to everywhere yet. Leave as have written to us. I'll contact you again when we have news. There we go. Return to the Astral Express and bring this story to a close. That's what's happening right now. Wait. Oh no. I already had, like, it's so crazy. I had like an ending and now I'm gonna have another ending as well. But like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that we even got this story, guys. It's absolutely fantastic. It really is. Herta's gone offline from this puppet. No matter how you try to get her attention, there's no response. Yeah, the reason I say Herta has become such a great character is because she was always interesting, unique, weird, and really scary sometimes too. But like, you start to notice like so much more stuff with her here. She is sharp with people because she needs to get stuff done. If she's not sharp with people, people will take advantage of the technology here. She has to always like make sure it's like safe and protected. She's vicious, but she's caring. She's all these things in between, right? And but like this Amphoreus arc for me.
If only I could also simulate a world like
Oh,
that.
people are talking about Amphoreus. Great. The reason why she's better for me after Amphoreus is because we still get the Herta that is terrifying and powerful and so imposing. But now we also get the Herta that showcases like, that. And we've seen her care before, but I feel like in Amphoreus it very much is like this thing where she has this very big responsibility she puts on her head. She has done so much and been so proactive for the people in Amphoreus. And she's very much like was willing to put her life on the line for Amphoreus and for science as well too in some ways also. Her relationship with Scree was on full display, showing how like well they get along, and they're pretty much like this like, best friend. It's so cute as well. And also, as I said, she cares about she legitimately does care about Stell to a degree that is like really sweet.
Think of it, I haven't chatted with Sonny in ages. Let's go see what he's up to.
There's some construction on outside, guys. We probably won't hear it. Hopefully not. But yeah, like she very much cares about Cell in a way that like she's so impressed with Cell, which I think is really, really, really lovely. It's a really lovely thing. At last, your journey of sowing has reached its end, and you return to the Astral Express. Looking back, the Amphoreus you spoke of has taken roots deep across the universe, quietly waiting the day it will sprout. Perhaps it's the final step of Genesis. Oh my god! We're just facing over this march. Don't put question marks. Are you kidding me? You think I'd forget this shade of hair and this dog as well, the trio? Oh, it's you guys. You finished your missions too? Of course. After all, we three trailblazed through Amphoreus together. I ran my heart out for this. I received a message from Marshta when I was leaving the Thalassa, so I came back with her. She ran into some trouble on Khalsis. Don't even get me started. I'm already shy as it is. And then the Synthesia beacon had to break down. Thank goodness Dan Hong can speak Clay's language. I love that they show that they have missions outside of our missions, right? Again, as we said, the world doesn't stop turning just because we're doing stuff. Now the world isn't waiting for Stell to just do stuff. Also, I've discovered a new species resembling Chimera on Spindle 3. There were no prior records of it. I just love that they're getting out there, right, as well. It's so great to see them in this form. Does that mean there could be planets completely filled with Dromasses? Because like we've seen them like in this form obviously before. We saw the picture when they were all looking at the picture book together, but like just seeing them just like naturally doing their work here as well is amazing. Let's wait for Himiko and Mr. Yang to come back there before we do a full debrief. You should rest for now, Still. You look tired. See you in a bit then. The world has never been so quiet. It's as if you could hear the sound of heartbeats. This is an important line. Oh my god. It's the final stroke you write for Amphoreus. Only fate knows when it will respond. But you know, whether it's tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, they're all on the path to... Okay? You know, whether it's tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, they'll all be in the path of Trailblaze. No parallel lines are destined to be converged. Oh, it is! Oh my god, it's Sarini!
Stay strong. Eyes forward. Always.
Wait, what's happening? Oh no, don't say it's just gonna be a faint... Oh... Eyes forward always. It was just like a faint vision. Oh, that's so brutal.
See you tomorrow, Amphoreus.
Oh, man. And that's it. What a great, like, supplementary mission to Amphoreus. Like, and here's the thing, guys. Just being real with you guys is always like, you know, I've already, like, I've exhausted my, like, tears in a lot of ways, which is why, like, you know, like, I know for a fact that, like, the next world is probably gonna rip my heart out. I don't feel the same sadness or like does that make sense? When I say exhausted, like, I think this time around it's not a feeling of like, oh no, like I'm gonna cry my eyes out. It's more of a feeling of just like, we did it. We're spreading the word of Amphoreus. We'll get to see the characters whenever we want. It's less sadness this time and more of a feeling of like, okay, like, we got this. You know what I mean? It's more hopeful than it ever was. Okay, someone said you can just look at this bubble. Let's look at bubble 2. The line at the end, by the way, as well, that I was saying that was like super important about it being quiet. The reason I think it's super important is because this has been one of the loudest journeys, not in terms of actual volume, but in terms of the stuff that we've done. We have been doing this quest, personally, I've been doing this quest since December. You guys would do it for 9 months. I think it emphasizes the journey we've been on as players and the journey that Stell's been on in a way too. Stell first and us in a way too, I should say. But like, it's this feeling of like, okay, let's calm down. This is the first time we've been able to hear our own thoughts, because every single time in Amphoreus, something else like crazy was happening. So to get to see see Dan Heng and March going on journeys again, March is up and running around the Astro Express, getting to see us, like, you know, kind of like take a breather is a huge deal. It's massive. And that moment with Sarini in the end is clearly just Sarini is still like being close to us in some ways and giving us a hint that maybe she could still be like, see us in the future. But it's us like remembering her as like, you know, someone motivating us to help us move forward. Let's check this out. A memory bubble. Oh my god, it's Rappa and Boot Hill. Oh my god.
Deep space and found our pal and Dan Heng. That little thing's really that impressive.
Wait, they found Stella and Dan Heng through like a probe? By the way, Rappa and Boot Hill just
is a
chaotic
tech device blessed
characters
by the
together.
Great One. It senses the ultra-low frequency electric waves of the human body.
Oh, that's a whole lot of pretty wubba.
Why are they hiding the faces here? Like I know who they are. Two of the best designs in the history of Honkai Star Rail.
Since we found them, let's drop the act. You played it well, but who do you think you are?
Oh?
Brother Hanu? Thinking you could pass as a Galaxy
Wait.
Ranger.
What's happening? It's someone pretending to be Rappa?
Lord Cowboy Ninja, you have turned on me for no reason.
Oh, maybe not.
Don't tell me the traitorous monkey ninja
No,
bewitched
stop.
you. Are you walking the path of heretics now?
So they're both questioning each other as Galaxy Rangers. I love the pose with the pulling on the cap. She's so cool.
Enough. A name. It's Silvergun Shura.
Silvergun Shura. Oh, it is. It's, oh my god, he knew it right away.
This is why I hate putting over-the-top characters into the script.
It's Sparkle. It's Sparkle.
You and this mysterious ninja girl. Both of you are impossible to play. Director Sparkle doesn't care for Mad Men.
I love that, like, the idea that Boot Hill and Rappa are like legitimately hard characters to pull off because they're just crazy.
Cut the chatter. What's your real reason for being here?
Come on. What bad intentions could a masked fool possibly have? Just here to watch a show. Shuffle a few cards.
I don't know.
My two prized actors were drifting through space for ages, and you all couldn't find them. What choice did I have but to come myself? Otherwise, who's going to share the stage with me?
You don't even care about the Iron Tomb disaster threatening the whole universe. It seems the fool's wisdom isn't all that deep.
Ranger, Don't think waving some righteous flag gives you the right to throw sidelong
Oh.
jabs. And don't act like you've got no motives of your own.
I love that everyone does have a motive, though,
You're
you know?
hoping this war involving the gods might be the key to freeing that broken-legged wolf.
The broken-legged wolf.
Who else knows about
What's
that?
the broken-legged? Do we know the broken-legged wolf?
Just me. Do you believe it? Relax. I'm not interested in disturbing that living legend. I just couldn't resist messing with you when I saw you come back empty-handed.
Sparkle loves messing with people, honestly.
You little... Fine. Since you saved our pal and
Wait.
Don Hone, get out of here.
So was it Sparkle that legitimately helped find Stella and Don Hung? Was that what it was? Did I forget that aspect of the story, or did they mention that?
But remember what you said. Leave the boss alone.
Leave the boss alone.
Or else.
You don't have to worry at all. In Director Sparkle's next script, gray hair gets the spotlight.
Oh, yeah? Or was this from before or something? Like, what is this about? Like,
Let's skip the formalities about how the Express crew led the formation of the Cosmic Alliance.
oh, these are all
and saved
post
civilization
Amphoreus.
from the destruction.
So Sparkle did help find Stella and Don Hong? Okay.
Thanks to the Express crew's support, our operations stayed on course, even under the relentless pressure from the Marketing Development Department.
This is interesting. And honestly, like, two characters to have, like, a really strong presence,
Miss
right?
Himiko, the Strategic Investment Department extends its deepest thanks.
But there's no way in hell you're gonna have Himiko's the best person to counteract Jade, I feel like.
Your department's
if she does start
contributions
stuff.
during the crisis did not go unnoticed. But besides disaster relief and holding the line, you've had your hands full with something else too, haven't you?
Indeed. The Cosmic Alliance's victory this time has revealed something truly precious. A glimpse of what united civilizations can accomplish in the face of destruction.
Okay.
Our department is summarizing key lessons from this campaign. If another crisis of this scale appears on the horizon, we intend to have a system ready to respond.
Well, I guess that makes sense, like, with the idea, because they had to prove that an alliance was worth it as well, right?
If the IPC can take the lead in establishing a true frontline against the destruction, it will bring hope to every civilization.
I mean, of course that would be good, right? Of course it would be.
Of course. That still hinges on continued support from the Astral Express. Once the Iron Tomb matter is settled, we will be in touch again, Miss Himiko.
Okay. So there's all these little bubbles around here. I guess they're just like showing us post-conversation. So there was just like about the idea of like an establishing an alliance. It was talking about Sparkle finding Stella and Don Hong. Maybe I missed that entirely, but I feel like I would have talked about that as well, right?
General Jing Yuan, it's been too long. Did Miss Fuxuan return safely?
Well, she almost had a near-death experience this time.
The Omniscia foresaw Iron Tomb's obliterating strike. It also told me there was no avoiding it, no surviving it.
Yet in that exact moment, the Seer strategist sent a message. The empty fortune has cracked open, and fate can now be decided. Then we lost contact.
So, sorry, I keep pressing the wrong button. So they saw Iron Tomb was striking, but they're told there's no stopping it?
Alas, always so cryptic. Your brilliant senior soarer never says anything plainly. Left me pacing all night.
Okay.
Stop lying, General.
No need to be upset, Master Diviner. Cryptic talk comes with the territory of being a general.
The soldiers of the Cienjo stood firm in this battle amidst overwhelming odds. their courage and sacrifice deserve recognition.
I mean, this is really cool to see also again, because that's why I was actually wondering, are we going to hear from Jin Yuan afterwards? But I guess this is kind of like the way of like talking to Jin Yuan after everything happened.
And it just so happens that the golden blood of ruin the Alliance needs is in the Nameless's hands.
Oh.
It was taken by the hero Kazlana of Amphoreus at the cost of his life, directly from Nanook themselves.
Wait, so they don't have it yet? It's in the Nameless's hands right now.
Though Kazlana is no longer part of this world, that kid can still reach a fragment of his memory.
Wait, so Stella has to reach his memory and give them the golden blood?
Perhaps Kazlana would be willing to entrust the golden blood to an ally who went to great lengths for Amphoreus.
So they don't. So they might have it, but in this part of the bubble, they definitely don't have it yet.
In that case, very well. On behalf of the Cienjo Alliance, I offer our deepest respect to the world of Amphoreus and her brave, noble heroes. To strike an eon as a mortal, even for but a fleeting instant, this deed alone deserves to be etched into the stars and remembered forever.
I mean, legitimately, it is. It can't be overstated how much of an incredible moment that was with the stuff with Finon. It was absolutely insane. I think it is just, you know, it's and that's what it was supposed to be, right? It's because like this, you know, we never got to like fight a god, and we wouldn't fight a god. That's why it was such a crazy moment. Yeah, so like they're talking about like the idea like we have to like go to Kazlana, ask him to give the blood to Jin Yuan. But I do love they're giving us like these little updates afterwards as well. I'm very scared to get closer to
It's a relief to see you alive and well after all that bloodshed.
So the Galaxy Rangers did get involved. So that would make sense, right? That would make sense. But yeah, like it's I don't want to get too close to Sunday because I'm worried it will trigger like another quest.
Born tough. Though I ought to apologize to you, Miss Himiko, for missing the Express's signal earlier.
Oh, okay. Remember he didn't answer? If you remember correctly.
The soldiers of both the IPC and the Cienjo saw the way you all fought on the front lines. Please accept my sincere thanks for the bravery the Rangers showed.
Sorry for not answering back sooner. And she's like, we saw what you did. Like, we're all very, very, very grateful.
No need for thanks, Miss Himiko. I ain't the leader of the pack. Didn't bring many along. Most of those who showed up for this fight have a personal score to settle with the destruction.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's why they fought like they had nothing to lose.
The Express crew owes you and Miss Rappa a special thanks for retrieving her and Don Hung after the battle.
So that's what happened. It was after the battle they grabbed them. Oh, okay. Because I was thinking when they found them originally, I was like, no, they didn't find them originally. No, it's like after the battle they literally retrieved the three bodies. They literally cut. That's so cool. So Sparkle did find them, and then but it was Rappa. Is that what they're saying? It was actually Sparkle, but we thought it was Rappa.
With the scepter put out of commission, there was
That's
a
really
lot
cool
of
to hear.
chaos across the Amphoreus segmentum. Even with signal tracking, finding them was no simple task.
Yeah, maybe her ninjutsu really is the real deal.
But we know it was Sparkle, right?
Speaking of which, where is Miss Rappa?
Don't worry, she's gone to help the other Rangers. I'll pass on the Astral Express's message to her.
Is that all the bubbles? It seems to be all the bubbles. So, okay, that was great. That was great to learn exactly what happened here. I might, like, check the other cars to see if there's any other bubbles. But, like, that's the party car, first of all. That was great to, don't see any other bubbles, yeah. Yeah, I think that was it. I think there's a reason why they had that pop up on the screen, right? But, yeah, that was great. Because, again, one of those things where in my head I was kind of, like, wondering. I was like, I guess, like... I want to be clear, it wasn't like a criticism or a critique, because for me it was one of those situations where I was like, you know, who cares? You know, because not who cares, but I was kind of thinking to myself, oh, they didn't tell us what happened to Jin Yuan. I just assumed it was like, oh, the game wouldn't show them and we'll probably see a cutscene later. So it wasn't that big of a deal in my head or whatever. So I was like, yeah, oh, sure, who cares? Like, we'll see them later, you know? That's how they do things sometimes. We won't see characters or won't hear from them, and then we'll hear about what they did like later on, like in a cutscene 10 weeks from now. So it wasn't going to be like a nitpick of mine to be like, why didn't we hear from Jin Yuan? Why didn't we hear from this character? But like they actually did like go above and beyond, in my opinion, to show us like what happened here, and also explain how like Stell was found in the end. After everything that happened in Destruction, it was Sparkle and Boothill that got Don Hong, Stell, and March out of here as well. Which, you know, Boothill getting his work husband Don Hong out of here is very, very cute, honestly. Boothill is Don Hong's work wife, even though he doesn't want her to be the work wife, you know. Okay, I came back here to try and find. I might look over what she said exactly, because I thought she said like, you know, like I have like something for you, but maybe I'm just missing out. And again, I can do a cleanup thing where we can find her or whatever, or do it in the part of another episode as well. I have no problem with doing that as well. But I just cannot right now find out what she was talking about. I'm guessing I just like don't need to actually like find it right now, I guess, which is fine, because instead I'm just gonna like talk about what happened in this episode. Really, again, as I said, it's not gonna be like a really heavy, long, you know, ending discussion, because I feel like it's one of those things where we kind of like we already talked about everything that has to be talked about when it comes to Amphoreus. But I guess like what I really liked about this episode is that like it really showed the growth of Stell, right? Stell is a character who has been able to make a decision here that is so beautiful and forward thinking as a way of getting the word out for Amphoreus. The idea that she thought in her head, like, well, we can physically get this book published. We can spread this book physically to the different worlds. Not just like as like, you know, because I always assumed it was going to be a thing where like we tell more people about them on our journey. But like, no, like in a practical sense, use our connections in the IPC, the Xianshou, Penacony, in Belobog, on the space station, to spread the word of Amphoreus everywhere. And that to me is like such a like beautifully like mature decision, and also just a really smart decision. So not that she wasn't ever smart, but it's like it just shows like, you know, her thought process in that is like she didn't need someone to tell her like, hey, head to this place. She didn't need a prophecy. She didn't need Welter, even Himiko, to give suggestions on like, oh, like maybe we should do this or whatever. Instead, it was like a situation where Stell's like, let's do this. And that to me is like something very, very special. And it's not that like she's not going to take advice from other characters or like, you know, take directions from Himiko and Welt. It's more of a thing that I'm just glad that she like had this like idea all on her own, and like came up with this idea and contacted people and all this stuff in between. It like really does like, you know, drive home like the growth that Stella has had on this journey as well. And it, again, also the care she has for the people in Amphoreus also. It's a really, really special moment that I really enjoyed. That I really did enjoy a lot. And then, of course, like through this idea of spreading the word of Penacony and the world of Penacony as a story to everybody in this world, we also got to see like, I guess what happened post Iron Tomb battle, but also getting to see different people in like different regions was also really nice too. Even if it was only for a short while, seeing Robin and seeing, you know, Fu Xuan and Sela and Bronya, getting to see their reactions to this, but we got to see their motivation as well, and their own personal motivations to be able to spread the word of Amphoreus to every world. I even love like the notion of like Aventurine being like, yeah, like, well, of course we would spread this everywhere, because it's beneficial in like in terms of like gathering knowledge and obtain and growth and things like this too, like studying Amphoreus. But also you could say as well, like 100% it is the IPC's prerogative to always want to like nurture a nation, so that eventually they could probably like, you know, utilize in some way. But I don't think that's Topaz and Aventurine's whole goal here. I think the two of them like were genuinely like happy to help Stell. And people will be like, oh, you're reading too much into it. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not reading too much into it, because I do think that these two guys have like personalities of their own, and they do enjoy Stell's company and Stell's time as well. But yeah, I love the going into different places to spread the story of As I've Written. It puts like a kind of like a full stop on the story, right? Kind of this feeling of like, okay, we've come like around in this journey, and like really like are able to sit back and think about this. And that was even the moment at the end, which I love Stell being like, it's so quiet, and we get to see Don Hong and March have like, you know, gone on their own journeys as well, and are going on different missions too. Everything has become like, it's back to normal, but it's not back to normal. We remember these characters, but they're not truly with us. Like, it is this feeling of like almost like not a limbo, but like Stell put it perfectly, a quietness. Everything's done. Iron Tomb is not coming back, but there's still like a somberness in the air. There's still a weird melancholy in the air, but there's also a peacefulness in the air too, where everything feels kind of like, okay, now we have time to think. Which I love that emphasis of the idea of like, Stell has been through so much in this world and has seen so much and has powered through so much. So now, after the absolutely bitter situations that she's been through, being able to just to do this for Amphoreus it does feel like a full stop for Amphoreus. Not a full stop. It feels like in a way it's not even full stop. It's like a way to like write a new sentence. But yeah, the calm after everything that's happened. I feel like it almost is like getting all your work done, or getting all your like housekeeping duties. Where you have to clean your house and put out the clothes and clean whatever, have a shower, all this stuff. You get all this stuff done before like you have a sit down, and it's like, okay, I can relax for a bit. And with Stell spreading this around the place, giving people this book of As I've Written, everyone having their own reasons for spreading it, it really does feel like Stell gets to like sit for a second and just be with herself, be with her own thoughts. Because we really think about the story of Amphoreus, like when has Stell really gotten the chance to truly like be in the now without a crazy thing happening? When they first got to Amphoreus, it was kind of peaceful, but here's the situation when they got to Amphoreus as well. They were trapped in this world, they didn't know what it was. Then they were almost executed. Then there's like the story of Stell dying and like, Lygus, Evernight, Iron Tomb, all these different things. There was never really a moment where it's like, oh, let's go have like yes, there was funny moments, but even then, like, it's not really like when Finon and Minamos are fighting in the bathtub, you're not really going to be thinking about like, oh, let's relax right now. You're probably going to be like, oh my God. So I do love the emphasis on everything just being like, okay, the calm has come. It's not forgetting about Amphoreus, because the whole point of this story is to keep the Amphoreus memory alive. We had this stuff later with Herta, which was so beautiful as well, where Herta, like, I love Herta being so kind of like understanding with Stell too, because again, she does love Stell. She thinks Stell's amazing. And, explaining like, you might get to see her again. And even like, we've seen the many compliments she's giving to Stell over the times too, and also saying like her efforts have done such an amazing job at giving, she's done such an amazing job at giving Amphoreus a better chance in the future to be built into this real world and this beautiful, nourished world by spreading more of the information everywhere. It's like actually giving it's skipped over even phases, and it's getting a lot more. It's getting a lot faster too. It must be a proud thing that Herta feels when it comes to Stell, and obviously like as well, Asta and Himiko are super proud too. Welt is super proud as well, which is really lovely also to see too. And even like I feel like that point as well, even Welt was kind of feeling like maybe they're gonna like pass us by in some ways, which they're always gonna be there for you, Welt, always. I think Welt has like a lot of worries about like getting older, which is charming. It's very charming that he has a lot of these feelings too. But yeah, I love that. I love the conversation with Herta. I love all the conversations we had as well. I love Bronya, as we said, relating it to the idea of like how they were also struggling and they're still struggling to grow. How they use the resources in Penacony, and also like talking to the Nameless as a way of like putting an emphasis on how important this story is, and like Stell going back to the Nameless and telling her the story of Amphoreus is almost like telling like your grandparents of what you did over the past while. Like, hey, remember like I did this, I got to do this now. It puts an importance in the Amphoreus story. It was already important, but it puts even more importance where it's like you did such amazing things to the three Nameless. You did such fantastic things. This is something that has also happened. This is something that I've done as well. Kind of putting in a footnote for herself in the history books of like the Trailblaze, but also like spiritually telling the old Trailblazers is a way to connect with the old Trailblazers too, and be like, look my journey too. You know what I mean? I am a Trailblazer. It reminds you of like this is what Trailblazers do in a lot of ways also. Yeah, and it just to me. And obviously Asta also making it like designated reading on the space station. Perfect reasoning why she would do that too, because like again, if it was just a fable, people would be like, okay, whatever. But the fact that like it has to do with Herta and like scientific extrapolations and like the taking over of like a Aeon, and Herta connects with an Aeon is going to interest people a lot. How could it not? If you're someone who's like into science, of course you can be interested in the idea of Amphoreus. Jesus Christ, you would be. Yeah, it's special. It's truly special. It really is truly special. Yeah, and as you saw, Herta wasn't even like too phased by what was happening there as well. But yeah, it was a very simple story, this whole thing. It was just us going around with the As I've Written book, spreading it out and getting it published and getting more people to read it. And spreading the story of our friends and wanting their stories to feel alive. And you could feel that from Stell. While there was a feeling of like maybe debt where she felt like she like really cared about these characters, I don't think it's debt. I think it's more of just like I love these people and I don't want their memories to die, and I want their world to grow, and I want them to like expand, and I want to be able to see them all the time and talk to them all the time and have their own world and all this stuff too. There is that, but I think it's also, there's a beauty in telling people of the Amphoreus story because they went through so much. They went through so much pain and suffering and brutality. That's why when they're saying like, oh, it's too much of a perfect ending, like, I know they didn't mean it in that way. They're trying to say that it's not too much of a perfect ending. Like back in Penacony. It's, if anyone would ever get upset at the idea of like Amphoreus becoming this idealistic ending where everyone gets to live in this ideal world, they haven't been paying attention to the story, because the story is so brutal and so devastating and hurtful and at times disgustingly sad, that getting an ending where everyone gets to live in this ideal world, which is what we got, like, it's still growing and Amphoreus is growing into its own world, but like right now we have them in their own like space in this idealistic fashion where they get to be with their parents. We saw Minimos with his parents, and we saw Finum with his parents. Casterus gets to touch Adromas, and Anaxa gets to like spend his retirement like hanging out with the Adromas. Hyacinthia, Cyphera, and Trian get to like have these like really fun conversations, and Trian gets to be like a kid. High Sealans and Ceridro get to have a drink together, and there's more where that came from, which again, I wouldn't mind doing an episode on that where we get to like, talk to the characters and stuff like that too. But it is like this idealistic world, and again, the only reason that works so well is because of all of the horrible stuff every character went through in those stories. I think less than an idealistic fashion that we got to say goodbye to these characters now in this world. If we got to say goodbye to them when they were still suffering and still in pain, I think that would be, it just wouldn't make sense. Getting to say goodbye to them in a fashion where like Minimos gets to have like non-toxic parents, and Finon gets to like have his parents be proud of him, gets to talk to all his family, Casterus gets to embrace people now as well, and all those things in between. It really does feel like it is earned. It's such an earned ending, and I'm so happy for that. It's so beautiful. 100%. I also love the ending bubbles, like the bubbles are talking to everyone, because it gave this indication. As I said before, like I wasn't expecting them to do that. I just thought like, okay, I would have loved to have seen like what happened with Jin Yuen, but it was kind of like this thing where I thought they were going to do a cutscene down the line. But actually, like what we found out was that Jin Yuen still is kind of like, in a way, negotiating with Castellana and the Trailblazer. And Himiko understands, like Himiko giving the golden blood over to the Zansho, by the way. Himiko's a very much like in a lot of times a realist as well. Himiko could be like, do not take our golden blood, which again, would it be great? I wouldn't want anyone to have the golden blood, but the problem is, Himiko knows that like there's a reason why people got involved in this too, and there's a reason why we have to create an environment where people still have this like good relationship later on down the line. It's the ultimate moral decision in Penacony would just be to kill the majority of the family, right? Because they were, again, factually so, they were also aware of what was going on with what happened with Sunday. Sunday was to blame. I want to make that clear. As we have blamed him. I said a million times I blamed him. But the family was also, like, well aware of everything that happened, and they made Sunday the ultimate scapegoat, basically, and the ultimate, like, public boogeyman. When they also were very much aware of what was happening, and in a lot of cases, 100% would have supported Sunday if asked to. But what I'm saying is with that is that like the I'm not saying kill them, but I'm saying like, the moral decision would be to like, hey, family, you're no longer in Penacony. But like that's not a practical decision. Himiko goes with practicality, and she realizes, okay, it's genuine getting that golden blood might not be perfect for the entire world, but it will probably foster relationships going forward with Amphoreus and us as well. Jade also just describing how like now, because this was effective, though we can do this a lot faster next time. Love that idea, that an actual effect of like camaraderie and like working together. We found out that Sparkle was actually the one who found us after everything that happened. Sparkle was able to grab us and like bring us back to the Astral Express, but originally they thought it was Rappa, and they still do think it's Rappa, but Boot Hill kind of saw through that. And so the Galaxy Rangers did get involved and fought on the front lines. We know Boot Hill was there fighting for Amphoreus, which is such a cool visual, by the way. You hear like Iron Tomb like going like, and then you hear in the background, yeehaw. It's so great as well. Yeah, like I feel like, seeing those bubbles and all those different pieces of information was a good way of like showing us like little bits. I was going to say tidbits, but it turned into something else there. Bits and pieces of what happened and what went down. It's a really good way of like giving us like a little bit of an insight
but also leaving some things like up in the air for us to be like, okay, so what's going to happen in the future? Is there going to be like more peaceful negotiations? Is there going to be like is the Golden Blood thing with Genuine, is that going to turn out okay or is it not? We don't have to think about that right now, but yeah, it was a really cool thing seeing those bubbles too. Yeah, this was great. This was such a great idea and such a great thing for Stell. And it really is just, that's the emphasis I put on the end of all this. I come to the end of this thing with Stell, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm so proud of Stell. I'm just so incredibly proud of everything that she's accomplished. Now, here and now, what she did in this episode to me is, it was me watching on like through a glass, like, you know, TV screen, but I'm sitting here being like, you know, beaming, smiling, being like, look at our gal. Look what she's doing. Look at what she's doing with this whole world. Going to Natasha, going to Belobog, spreading the stories to children, you know, that will be inspired by this. Working with the IPC like in a very business manner to like make this like effective. Like Stell has come so far, and she's always been smart, but this is like such a proactive thing she did. I'm just so proud of her. So, we will probably return to Amphoreus for some stuff, right? I want to make that clear. But I obviously do want to say that this is probably the end of the meat and potatoes of like the main story aspects. Even though this wasn't a main story thing, I feel like it is kind of like a main story thing. It wraps everything up. This is like the meat and potatoes kind of like ending in some ways, right? But that doesn't mean we can't have some fries. You know what I mean? You know, we had our meat and potatoes. It was absolutely beautiful. You know what I mean? Maybe we do an event here or there where it's like, ooh, a little bit of order of fries, dip them in. You know, that tastes good. You know, that was nice. That kind of way. Is that a good analogy? Where it's like, we got our meat and potatoes. I want some fries. Or doesn't mean we can't have no better analogy. Oh, a bit of an opera cake, some dessert. Ooh, lovely. I had an opera cake for the first time. I sliced it last week. I got it for free. It's really good. It's really good. Yeah, it's really like, that's what it feels like. It's like, okay, that doesn't mean we can't. I'm not saying we will do everything, but I'm saying we can go back and do something, and we can get our fries or our opera cake. We can get something. But that's why I'm saying right now, I kind of want to just put a pin in everything. I already talked about it, like thanking you guys. And of course, I thank you guys again for being along for the journey. But also, I also talked about like my journey through Amphoreus as well, and how grateful I was for that also. But I think now it's also like an important thing to just say that like, in terms of my journey of through Amphoreus and Honkai Star Rail in general, this of course to me was one of the greatest times I've ever had in a video game. There was nothing I've ever done on the channel in this fashion, right? I'd say the closest thing was probably like Last Defense Academy, but the way I look at Last Defense Academy was a bunch of different games in one. It was like a bunch of different like stories within one and endings within one. But there's nothing quite like Amphoreus with this whole like this. It's the longest JRPG region I've ever been in. That's what I'll say, right? That's what I'll say. Because for me, like with Last Defense Academy, like I cherish that game, man. But like obviously it's different. It's a different thing where it's like we still. In fact, Last Defense Academy was longer than Amphoreus for me, but it's different stories, right? But that's the closest thing I can think of, like what we did here, like where it was like how long it was and how much time we spent here. We're returning to Last Defense Academy very soon, and I'm very excited, by the way. But it is that journey of like, you know, that we went on that was so incredible, so beautiful, and I'll never forget it. I never will. It's such a powerful story, and honestly, like I feel kind of like Stell now. And that's why like we're gonna be taking it a little bit easy this week, because I genuinely feel like Stell. I am in a state now with this game where like I'm in this quietness, where. And that's why, like, I'm doing this quest because I wanted to put a pin in Amphoreus, and then also we might have a special video that I haven't done before in Honkai Star Rail coming up this week as well. I think it might be fun also. But there's a reason why I'm doing that is because I think that like it's probably good to like have this like little like, you know, this first of all this kind of like exclamation point and this kind of full stop in a way, and this kind of like wrapping everything up for Amphoreus with this quest, and then the video I want to do this week as well. Which will just be a fun video. It's just gonna be a fun Honkai Star Rail video, and we can. It's a good way of just like taking that calmness that I feel and this kind of like this energy where everything feels like okay, we can like relax for a second, and putting it into something like this, which is like again as we said like a wrap up quest, and then also something fun as well, so we can be like okay, you know what I mean? It's like we'll embrace that feeling of like everything feels calm, and then we'll get back into more story stuff like the week after. I think it's perfect. I think it's absolutely perfect. It really is. But yeah, like, Honkai Star Rail is just a really special game. It's absolutely fantastic. It's something that, like, I, like, I expected to like, because it's a JRPG and, you know, it's Hoyo and it has good characters and all this stuff too, but, like, I wasn't expecting... Like, I came to Honkai Star Rail thinking I'm going to get attached to characters, I'm going to love some characters. But, like, I wasn't expecting anything like Amphoreus. Like, there's no region in RPG history that is, like, this gigantic. Ever. And someone might be like, well, I spent 130 hours in Whiterun, in Skyrim. But I think it's totally different, right? Where it's like, this is legitimately, I spent, in terms of just the main quest of Amphoreus, I think I've spent, what, like more than 100 hours in just the main story of Amphoreus. And you can say, well, Captain, that's because you're a yapper. It's actually should be like 50 hours. Yeah, but then that's me. I'm saying my experience. Calvin, right? That's my experience. I spent 100 hours here. You can say, well, Captain, it's actually not that long. That's fine too. Still a 50-hour freaking like long RPG is insane for one region. Of course it is. But I'm saying for me personally, that's my experience. To be here for like over 100 hours in one region is for me something that just like I never thought I'd be doing. But I'm very grateful that we did do it. It should be 100 hours, right? Because like we spent like on every act, we spent around like minimum like 10 to 14 hours, right? So it might be less than, it might be like 90 something, but you know what I mean? Yeah, but we spent a lot of hours here, and you could say, we'll take out the post discussions and it'd be like 80 hours. Sure, if you want to say 80 hours, it's still a huge part of my life. If you want to say 80, you want to say 60, it's still a huge part of my life. I don't care really much. I'm just talking about the emphasis of how much this has meant to me and how much has been a big part of my life. It has been the backdrop of so many things in my week. It is, of course, my job, but it's also everything in between. It's such a huge part of my life now, and I'm so grateful that we got to go through it as well. I'm so grateful. I'm not going to harp on too much because I said what I wanted to say in the last episode. I got emotional like I knew I would in the last episode. So really, it's just like I'm embracing that calm. I'm embracing that feeling of like, wow, that was incredible. I love this quest. I love talking to all these characters. I love the hopefulness of it. So I am also going to embrace the same quietness that Stell is embracing too. And I'm going to feel like, okay, this is for now, the exclamation point on the story of Amphoreus, and then we'll get back into more story stuff soon. In fact, just next week we'll be doing more story stuff. Yeah, I think it's perfect. I think I'm absolutely fine with that. And yeah, I say that, but this is off the record, right? Don't tell anyone, right? We're embracing the calm, but I feel like I want to say one more thing, okay? The characters we met along the way in this journey, from Finon to Minomos to Castris to all these characters that we got to meet, these beautiful, lovely characters who we met cycles upon cycles over and over again. These beautiful characters we got to meet. I am very happy that at the end of this massive, gigantic story, we still get to see them. Because while we're embracing the calmness of this post-story and all this stuff too, a world where I don't get to talk to my Amphoreus buddies in any way, shape, or form is a devastating one. It's so devastating to think about. And I don't think we'd be embracing the calm without that feeling, honestly. If you want to see these videos early, you can do so on YouTube members or on Patreon. That's for the lowest tier at €1 or whatever it is in your currency. If you want to see your name go by in the text credits, that's €10. And if you want to hear your name read out at the end of every single video, that is €15 as well. Thank you once again, guys, for being so supportive and being so amazing. And we are going to say thank you now to those patrons first at the highest tier, that being Typharo2, Jamie Bull, Jana the Banana, the Ghost of Inazuma, Felicius Felix, Yuld, Anusta, Yassassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Chelson, Liam, Heike Kasparian, Neo Shaurite, Leah 200, Malcolm Day, and up their pledge to the highest tier of my Patreon, that's Axler21. Thank you so much. And at the highest tier of my YouTube members, Blasco and Musanagi. See you very soon. Bye-bye.